viewers are here now. 20 views. All right, I'm gonna start. Hello everyone, this is Slay Buddha back here with another video. Today we're gonna go over raids. Very easy strategy. Honestly, this is so simple, guys. You can trade only this and be profitable. Honestly, you don't need anything else apart from this. Once you have your direction on lock, which you should watch my last video for that. Once you have your direction on lock, then you're good to go, because all you need to do is find this raid setup happen during the week, preferably from Tuesday to Thursday, maybe Friday sometimes if there's news or something. Just wait for the setup to form and trade in your direction, and easy money. All right, so I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. Don't be a dumb ass. Let's get to it. All right, raids. What is a raid? A raid is just a liquidity grab. Okay, you killed Nasdaq on NFP. Nice. I need to get back to trading indices. I used to trade US 30 and Nasdaq too. NFP was good, but I think I focused on one analysis and tried forcing trades. Yeah, happens to the best of us. Happens to all of us. Next week is another week to go at it. Alright, so raids just mean liquidity grab. So I'm gonna stop looking at the chat. I'll look back maybe at the end of when I'm done explaining everything and going through examples, and then we can answer questions and stuff. Okay, so raid just means a liquidity grab. And of course, you know, when the market grabs liquidity, price reverses in the other direction. So the grab of liquidity is to show is the market maker stepping in, right, to grab liquidity, and we want to trade in the opposite direction. We want to trade with smart money, basically. Okay, so for instance, this is a grab of liquidity, reverse. This is not a valid raid for me, however. I won't call this a raid unless I'm looking at maybe the 3-month time frame, or even on 3-month time frame. This isn't really a raid for me, and we'll go over why that isn't a raid for me very soon. We're going to go over swinging and scalping. Don't worry about that, guys. So let's get into it. Let me use another pair, maybe. Let's start with GU. So firstly, how do you identify a raid? Okay, first you want to make sure that the raid is happening to a fractal high. It has to be a raid of a fractal high. What's a fractal high? A fractal high just means a swing high or low. So how do you identify a fractal high? A fractal high is formed with 3 candles. Okay, 3 candles, and the candle in the middle has to be the highest one for the fractal high, or the lowest one for the fractal low. What does that mean? So if we're looking at this low here, why is this a fractal low? Look at the candle next to it to the left and the candle next to it to the right. See how it forms a sort of U shape, or you could say a sort of V shape if you connect this and then connect this to the next candle. This middle candle is the lowest one here, so this is the swing low formed, or the fractal low formed. Okay, so if you look at something like this candle here, this candle, is this a fractal low? This one right here, this white bullish one. No, it's not a fractal low. Why? Because the candle next to it on the left is lower than it, so it doesn't form a V shape. This middle candle is not the lowest point, so it's not a fractal low. The fractal low is actually right here, and we rated this low here. So this here is a valid raid of this fractal low. This here is a valid raid of this fractal low. Okay, fractal high is just the opposite. So this candle here, this bullish candle, is a fractal high. Why? Because the candle to the left and the candle to the right is lower than it. So if you connect the highs together, it forms a sort of, like, you could say a upside down V, or like an upside down U, like an N shape. Okay, as long as the middle candle is the highest point, that middle candle is the fractal high or the swing high. So this candle here is a fractal high. And what happens? This candle comes up, grabs that liquidity. So this is a raid of this fractal high, and then reverse. Okay, this is a raid of this fractal low, and probably this low too. So this low as well got taken. And see how many months reversed for. So this raid is not only for setups, it's also for direction. If I see a monthly, especially if it's on the monthly, weekly time frame, if I see a monthly raid like this, I know we're bullish. I know we're bullish to grab more liquidity on the opposite side, which is here. Okay, so raids on a higher time frame will be good for direction, like monthly, weekly. So for instance, if you look at GJ, not GU, but if you look at GJ right now on the monthly time frame, look at this huge candle that took out this fractal low and took out this fractal low. Okay, and what signifies the rate? How do we know it's taken out and it's not a BMS? The candle closing as a wick. Okay, so you see how this candle closed as a wick below these lows? If the body of the candle broke through these lows, then it's not a rate. It has to be the candle closing as a wick below or above a fractal low or high to be considered a rate. Okay, so let's go back to GU. I hope everything's clear so far. Let me just quickly check the chat. The screen is not clear. I think everyone else said it's clear, so maybe it's your network or your phone. So maybe just check your connection settings. Let's look at more rates. So this is a rate. See how many months we were bearish after that rate. How many months? Maybe even a whole year we were bearish after this rate. After these two rates here that happened here, we were bullish for like 3-4 months, maybe up to 5 months. After this rate, I believe this was the COVID situation. After this rate, we're bullish for more than a year. Bullish, right? Is this a rate? Let's see if this one here is a rate. This one here. I'll go to lower time frames too, so you can see I can use it for intraday scalping and all of that. Did we take out this high? Yes. So this is a fractal high, right? Fractal high. Why? Because this candle is the middle candle between these two, and it forms that N shape. It's the highest point. It's a swing high, right? And look, this candle width above this high, and that was the start of the reversal. I've been bearish ever since. So see how strong this concept is, or see how high probability it is. We took out this fractal high with the wick candle, the monthly candle closing as a wick. We were bearish for the following months after. Happens all the time, all the time. Is this a rate? Here, this one here. Is this candle rated by this candle? Not on the monthly time frame. On a lower time frame, it could be on a lower time frame. Let's actually check that. On a lower time frame, maybe that's a rate, like on a weekly or daily. But for me, on the monthly, it is not a rate. Let's see the daily. Okay, for me, there's no valid rate here. The only valid rate here is actually right here. Why? Fractal low. This candle is a swing low, and we pushed down, closed as a wick below this low, and reversed. Okay, I'm telling you, this setup is you can trade only this setup and be very profitable, guys. You can use this on a day-to-day basis to find trades. On one pair, it'll probably show up like 1 to 4 times in a week, depending on the session you trade and everything. Okay, so now let's start going to the lower time frames. Now let's go to the time frames. Now, if you're okay, we'll go into time frames to use for your style of trading, but let's go to a lower time frame. Let's see what's been happening this week. What happened here? 4-hour raid reversal. 4-hour raid reversal. Now, one thing I should notice that is you should have your market direction on lock. So you know, especially if you're a swing trader, if you're based off the higher time frame, I don't advise you to take a raid as a counter unless it's like a monthly raid or maybe a weekly. But if it's a 4-hour daily raid and it's a counter and you're a swing trader, do not do it because it probably will not last that long. However, if it's going with the trend and if it's going with the trend and it's a daily, weekly, monthly raid, then as for swinging, you can definitely hold that bitch till thy kingdom come. As for scalpers and intraday, because you know you're trading the buys and the sells, even if it's a counter trend trade, I'll say you can still take the trade because you're only aiming for a few pips, right? You're not aiming for 100 pips, you're aiming for maybe 20 to 30 pips. So you can definitely just have sensible TPs, all right? That's a 4-hour raid there. Started that reversal. This is a raid as well. I hope you can see with your own eyes. Raid of this fractal low, reversed. Now this here would have failed. This sell here would have failed. Actually, you never know. Maybe you can get a good scalp. But this here would have failed and you'd have taken a loss. It's not 100% strategy. You will take losses, but your wins will be more than your losses. Even look at this one here. Fractal high, candle close as a wick. What happened? We reversed. Okay, so now let's start looking at the entries. Okay, let's look at the entries you can take for these trades. Okay, let's start with the one that happened here. This is on Wednesday. Okay, I'm not going to go into market direction, all of that. I'm just going to go straight into the setup and then the the entry for that. Okay, so let's just play this back. Is it? Yeah. Okay, so this is also a 1 hour rate. It's not only a 4 hour rate, it's a 1 hour rate. So I wouldn't go lower than the 1 hour time frame for the setup if I were you. I never went lower than 1 hour time frame. For me, it's not high probability. 1 hour time frame, 1 hour rates, 4 hour rates, daily rates, weekly rates, monthly rates. Those are the time frames I prefer to use for the either the setup or the direction of price. Okay, so this one here is a nice setup. Why? Because this is also the previous daily high. Okay, so we've rated the previous daily high. You wait for the 1 hour candle to close, then you start hunting for an entry. So let's go to a lower time frame and say I can enter this. We're going to start with scalping, and I'll go over a higher time frame like swing trading as well. Okay, so the next step, once you've identified the raid, the candle has closed, you know we've raided, is you want to make sure that that raid caused a break of lower time frame structure. Okay, it has to cause a break of lower time frame structure, whether it's 1, 3, 5 minute for scalping intraday, or maybe the 15 1 hour time frame for swinging. Okay, it has to cause a break of lower time frame structure. So what time is this? This is 2:45. So we can look at entries from 3. Okay, so let's start with the 1 minute time frame. Let's see if there's any entry on the 1 minute. How would I enter this trade? Honestly, not like super clean. So we've identified the raid. Did we break any structure? We broke the structure here, or you can say we broke the structure here, whichever one you want to use as a break. I don't really like using the wick as a break. I want to see the body of the candle closing below structure as a real break, as good confirmation. So I wouldn't enter a trade until I see this break here. See the body of the candle close below, very slight, but we still broke it, and we also broke this low with the body of the candle. Now start looking for entries. We broke this low as well. Okay, so the only, well, the cleanest entry from me would be this one, this order block here. So why this order block? If you guys have watched my order block video, you know why it's this one. Okay, the only other order block I would love to enter from is here. So I would have 2 POIs to enter from, either this one or this one. All of this here is not valid to me. Why? Because there's no imbalance. I've told you guys in the last video, on the 2 previous videos, or whatever it's called. English is not working today. So I've told you guys you should see an imbalance below your order block before it's valid. So there's no imbalance here. Price already swept up, mitigated from here. This is order flow, right? Broke structure again, came up, mitigated from something in there. So I'm not interested in anything here. This zone and this zone are my only 2 valid points of interest. So price could either come up, take out these highs as liquidity into here and drop, or we could just react off here and continue the bearish momentum. I would just take 2 entries, divide my risk, because you don't know which one is going to happen. No one really knows what's going to happen. You can just formulate a strategy that can make you right more times than you're wrong. Okay, so let's say you have a 9.5 pip stop loss. Where will you TP? Or where would you take first major partials? It'll be at this low. Why? Because this is liquidity. Okay, this is liquidity. So you can just hold up until here. This would be a 3R trade, leave a runner or whatever you want to do, and that will be the trade based off that rate setup. If you held this, I mean, you can already see the potential. Am I telling you to hold the trade all the way to 20R? No, that's stupid. Don't do that, because it might work this time, but think about the emotions you're going to face holding this trade. Just think about the emotions. You see this sweep up, you're going to start thinking, oh, no, I should TP now, I should TP now. Don't put yourself through all that emotional and mental stress. Take your partials, major partials, or TP at sensible areas. You can leave a runner for your main goal if you want to. Okay, so that'll be how I enter this trade. Let's see if there's any other entries on like a 3-5 minute time frame, and we'll move on to more examples. But I hope it's clear. Let me just check the chat. Is it clear? The screen is not clear. Oh man, wait, are you guys seeing the screen properly? Is it? Let me know please if it's clear or not. I don't know how to fix it on my end, to be honest. Someone said in another time frame you can see a body close instead of the wick close. Don't worry about that. Stick to one. If it closes like that on the 1 hour, stick to it. If it closes like that on the 4 hour, stick to it. It's, don't overthink it. A lot of people overthink. Oh, what about this? What about that? What about this time frame? That frame? Just pick a time frame and stick to it. Back test it and see which one works the best for you and stick to it. This is what has worked the best for me. I don't like to go lower than the 1 hour. Whatever you want to do after this call/video, that's up to you. All right, let's check like a 15-minute. Let's see if there's anything clear. Guys, entries are easy. If I'm being honest with you, entering trades are really easy. What's the most important is direction. So you don't, I mean, if you want a very tight stop loss, that's when you start making things complicated. But if you don't mind a bigger stop loss, then you can get a quick 2-3 hour and be done for the day. So if I was trading this on like a 30-minute time frame or 15-minute time frame, I will see this as the break. Right here we have the breaker, which is in line with the hidden base. Actually, is that the breaker? Check the 1 hour time frame. But yeah, an entry is this hidden base here. This hidden base here, you can enter off the hidden base. I might do a video on hidden base in the future. It is a bit more advanced though. It's not completely necessary to add to your trading plan. You could enter there, stop loss above here, right? Yes, it's a big stop loss. It's a big stop loss, yes. Oh, that's a very big stop loss actually. Oh, that's a very big stop loss. Okay, ignore that. That's a pretty big stop loss. If you're a swing trader though, you can take that. But as a scalper intraday, I wouldn't take that. It wasn't very clean. Okay, let's see what happens. I wouldn't take any entry here. We break structure. Why am I not taking any entry? This entry here, because price didn't pull back into deep enough into premium for me to take a trade. And then what happens? These are re-entries, by the way, guys. We break structure again. We come up. Maybe you want to enter from around up here. We don't get to your zone. Do we even pull back into premium? This is our new range, right? We are looking at this new range. We just touched the 50%, so you could enter off the 50% of the range. Stop loss above, take a sell. Or you could just wait again for another break of structure, which happened here, and enter here. I would go over entries in the future. There are some things I want to talk about with entries. So you could take another entry here, stop loss above here, or stop loss here for a safer stop loss, and just write it down where you're going to TP. Okay, let's look to the left. Where can you TP? We have this low here, liquidity. This low is also liquidity. Previous daily lows, so you could TP there about like 5 hours or so, and that's your trade. So these are just re-entries. Let's look at more examples. All right, let me see what people are saying. It's very clear. It's clear for you. Increase video quality. How do I increase video quality, guys? This is my first time doing all of this, so let me just try. I don't see anything on how to increase the video quality, to be honest. So yeah, maybe you can just watch the video again when it's released. If some people are saying the quality is good, so maybe it's clear. Is the setting? Yeah, maybe it's just your connection. All right, let's move on. Let's look at this one. This one would have probably been a loss, but let's look at it anyway. So we have the 4 hour closing as a wick above that high. Oh wow, now it wants to act up. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour, you see it's not a raid. So if you're looking at this at this point in time, you're not taking a trade. At this point in time, once the 4 hour candle closes, then you can say, okay, we've raided this previous daily high, which is a very strong liquidity point of interest, and now you can start looking for a sell. So you're going to look for a sell from 5 a.m. here. I think is that London? I believe that is London. So from 5, this is New York time, by the way. So you can start looking for your entry. So let's see what that entry would be. The 4 hour closes. Okay, from this time. What can we see here? We're looking for a sell. The 4 hour close as a raid. How are we going to enter a trade? First, I can see that we've already mitigated from here and caused a further break in structure. Okay, so I'll be looking to enter from maybe somewhere around here, unless you take out this high again. But I'll be looking to enter from somewhere around here. All of this is inducement, right? This OB has the imbalance. Maybe it's clean out on the 5-minute time frame. So yeah, you can even just refine it to this 5-minute order block here that has this imbalance. Or these equal highs serve as inducement. And then let's see what happens. Might be a loss, might be a win. I don't know. Yeah, so this would be a loss. This would be a loss. Well, that happens. It's not a 100% strategy, like I said, but that'll be a loss. Let's look at more examples. Let's look at the one that happened here. After this example, we'll probably go into a more swing point trade of view, a point of view. We have this fractal low, 4-hour candle close as a rate. Let's see what the 1-hour candle close like. See, body close below. Now actually let's look at this. This first 1-hour candle actually closed as a wick below these lows. So let's see what actually happened there. Oh man, that was probably news or something. Excuse me. That was probably news. Now for me, why won't I take this buy? Because we didn't break any structure. The requirement is that after the rate, so from the rate happened at 6, you want to enter from 7, right? Because you're waiting for the candle. Wait, am I seeing this right? We came down here at 6, yeah. So you want to enter from 7 because the candle will close. The 6-hour candle will close. Or the 6 o'clock candle will close, and you want to enter from 7. So this is the time you're on the screen looking for an entry, and there's no break of structure. We didn't break this high, we didn't break this high, so there's no trade for me. Even if we did break structure, there's no order block with an imbalance. So there's no reason why I should take a buy based off this 1-hour rate, right? So there's no trade for them. Let me see the time. So now the 4-hour wicks down, we want to look for an entry from 9, which is New York session. So let's see if there's an entry. For 4-hour rates, I like to use like 3-5-minute time frame, but you can also use 1-hour time frame. It's not a big deal. I said 9, right? So from 9, so once the 4-hour candle closes and we see it's a rate, from 9, we're gonna start looking. Did it break structure? See how we broke all of this structure here? We broke this structure. We broke this structure. So yes, we started breaking structure. Most likely going up to take out this high as liquidity. So now I'm going to start looking for my entry. Okay, entry. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame. We're entering anytime after 9, which it starts from here. Anytime after 9, we're going to look for an entry. We have this order block here. You can enter from here, and we also have this order block here. We have 2 zones that we can enter from. Why only these 2 zones? Because these are the only 2 order blocks with an imbalance, right? Only 2 with an imbalance. There's no imbalance anywhere here on the 5-minute time frame. If you want to go to the 1-minute, maybe you find, I don't know, but for now these are the only 2 POY. So either you enter here with your stop loss below, or you divide your risk between both of them. If you get stopped out here, you enter here again. It all depends on what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what to put in your plan, but let's just say you enter here. Oh, that's a big stop loss. So that's a 54 pip stop loss. Why is it so big? So let's say you enter here. Actually, let's look to see if this is in discount. Maybe from this swing. So what I would do is, like I said, I'm not going to enter unless it is in discount. From this low to this high will be my range. So I would enter actually at this 50% line. Because that's my rule, okay? My rule, I'll enter at this 50% line and probably extend my TP a bit. That will be my entry. Right there. Where you're targeting, you could hold and target to this high that I said is liquidity. And that would be like a 20-hour trade, but I wouldn't do that. I would just TP at sensible places. Like this high here will be a nice place to TP, which is about 6R. 6R here, and then you can hold a runner for this high. Okay, but this is based off the 4-hour grabbing that liquidity. Of course, the higher the time frame, the more higher probability that the rate is gonna hold, or the rate is a true rate. All right, so those are the 3 examples. 1 loss, 2 wins, depending on how you want to enter. Let's see if there's any other raid that happened. This is not a raid. This is not a raid. Let's check the 4-hour. So yeah, I don't really see any other raid that happened this past week. This was a loss. No, that's actually Friday. So Monday. This is a raid here, but honestly, if it's not in the kill, again, if it's not in the kill zone, don't trade it. Only trade in the kill zones, guys. That should be like that should be obvious by now. Yeah, I don't really see any other raid that happened on GU this week, but that's one trade on GU. So you could look at 3 pairs and get maybe 3 trades in a week. And look at the RR2. It's good RR, so it's not like you're only taking 1 hour. It's good RR, and you're good for the week. Trading only this strategy, and it's so simple because you can just set your timer every 1 hour. Just be like, okay, 1 hour's passed, let me see how the candle closes, or 4 hours passed, let me see how the candle closes, or it closes as a raid, it's a wick candle close, okay, I'll look for an entry. It's a body candle close, okay, I'm not interested. Very easy on your mind and your psychology too, because you don't have to stare at the screen to actually trade this strategy. Okay, very good for passing even funded challenges too, because it's good on your mind and it's good for your on your mind, and it's an easy strategy to trade as well. All right, let's go to like a weekly, daily point of interest. Now, how long has this video been going on for? Speaking of funded challenges, I have a friend who has an EA. So if any one of you is interested in passing a challenge, and also it can trade your life funds as well, tested by me. I won't advertise it if I haven't tried it. It's tested by me and it's actually pretty legit. So if anyone is trying to get funded quickly, or they don't have time to trade and you just need a bot that can help you trade your funds, or trade your live funds on a prop firm, then you can just, I don't know, you can hit me up on Instagram. Alright, let's move on. Let's see what they're saying in the chat box. What if there's a BOS with the body closed in 1 hour but not present in 4 hours? You mean like if on the 1 hour the body closes as is the body kind of closed, but on the 4 hours it's a wick? I would trade it as a 4 hour rate. Simple. It's one or the other. It doesn't have to be both. Alright, let's look at a trade perspective over here. Of course, a bearish, so I'm only looking for sells. I'm not looking for buys if I'm swing trading. Let's look at something like, I might have to look at a past example. Let me see. So I would focus on monthly, weekly, and maybe daily for swinging, and just hold that shit. Alright, let's go what happened here. Okay, what do we see happen here? We have a raid, right? Of even all of these. I think there's like 2 fractal lows here. You have a raid happening there. Did it cause a break of 1 hour structure? Again, you're waiting for the week to close, the weekly candle to close. So I'm gonna look for entries from the 26th of July. Look at maybe 2 examples, and I'll call it a day. It's been about 30 minutes. I don't want this video to go on. So we have a raid, a weekly raid that happened here. Once the Friday candle closes, we know it's a raid. We broke 1 hour structure, break of structure. I mean, it's very obvious. We immediately became bullish. So now you can start looking for your entries. Now, you can't look for entries. This applies to any time frame. You can't look for entries without knowing your target, without knowing where price is going to next. So once I see this weekly raid, now I'm thinking, okay, maybe we're going to take out this high. This actually looks like AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Why? We accumulate here, we're ranging, accumulating orders, manipulate to the downside, grab liquidity, distribute higher. So now I can, once we distribute higher, we know that the top of the range is now the liquidity target that we can use as a TP, or we know that price could reverse from here. So we're just looking for entries up until this point. There are 2 ways you could enter as a swing trader. Now, with the way I trade now, I'll look for maybe 1 hour, 4 hour entries to this point from the next week. Okay. So we have Monday here. What happens? And the entries is just stop hunt BMS RTO, stop hunt BMS RTO, stop hunt BMS RTO, right? We have the break of structure there. We have a stop hunt here of this low. This is also a raid. So if you're scalping or doing intraday, this would be your setup to take the buy. Okay, but for a swing trader, because we have that weekly rate perspective and we have this target, this would be the setup. This would be the entry to take a buy. Okay, how do you enter this trade? There are many entries. Now, that's another thing. You can't be too what's the word? You can't worry about precision too much, or you could take losses. So actually, how I would enter is just enter at this 4 hour candle here. This is a hidden base here, and I don't know how to describe these candles. I'll probably have to make another video for it, but that'll be my entry there. On the lower time frame is probably just a whole order block. So we have this 2 hour order block, but we also have this hidden base here. So when I'm swinging, I don't need to be very precise. I know price is going here. I know where price has come from. So I'm just going to look for any clean kind of break of structure and order block, or even imbalance to enter from. Let's see, there's a nice imbalance to enter from, like a 8 hour or daily. So yeah, we have this 8 hour imbalance. You can just enter from there, put your stop loss here. I mean, entries are really simple. You just have to find what works for you. but I'll enter on that 4-hour candle. Let's see the risk to reward, and I'll also enter, of course, in discount. Okay, so we have the 4-hour candle there, but I'm gonna put my limit here because this is the 50% price. Even though price reacts above the 50%, I'm not gonna take that trade. So my entry will be right here. Stop loss below this 4-hour candle, which is just like a hidden base or like a indecision candle. Is GU, so let's say 22 pips. Stop loss. Where am I targeting? I'm targeting the top of the range, these highs, and that will be a 5.6 hour trade. If you want to be more cautious and extend your TB, that's fine. Sorry, extend your SL, that's fine. This would be a 2.5 hour trade. Don't get caught up in RR. 2.5 hour is good, 5 hour is good. As long as it's more than 1 hour, in my opinion, it's a good trade. Okay, so that would be the trade for that. Now, the other way you could enter, which is the way I used to teach my students when I used to do one-to-ones, I don't do them anymore. But the way I would enter for more, you could say, precision and more RR is instead of, where is the rate? I would set a limit and just wait for price to come back. If you're one of my past students, you know I used to do this. And just wait for price to come back here and then hold and get crazy RR. So I would enter only at the origin of the move right here, which is the order block that started the whole move. This will be my entry. So I would set limit here. It'll be a while. You'd have to wait, but that's trading. That's swing trading. So I would enter right here. I don't swing trade this way as much anymore. I would rather wait for confirmation in this zone and then take an entry again. But the old way I used to swing trade, I would just set my limit here and just wait, and then I would just hold maybe until these highs, because then we have this sort of trendline liquidity thing going on here. Right, so you can just hold up until there, and this would be a 5-hour trade. So there again, entries, there are many ways you could enter a trade. It all depends on your liking. You could enter the way I said here, targeting that high, or you could wait for the pullback all the way to the origin, targeting this high. Okay, let's look at another example. Maybe look on a daily time frame. Is any raid on the daily time frame? Is this a raid? Yes, this is a raid. Lovely raid. Not a raid because the body of the candle closed above, so it's not valid. It worked out though. It worked out, but it's not valid for me. So let's ignore that. Let's look at what's happening here. Or let's look at maybe something a bit more recent if we can find one on the daily time frame. This is a raid here, but it's a counter. So if you're swinging, do not take this as a counter. If you're trading intraday though, definitely you can take this buy as a counter. And if you can't find the raid, it is right here. This wick came below this this fractal low. Alright, let's look at one more example, then we'll go into questions and then we'll call it a day. Okay, let's look at what's happening here. Oh, I actually took this trade. I remember this trade. When I used to swing trade the old way I used to swing trade. So we have this fractal high, candle closing as a wick on the daily. So on the next day we want to see if this candle closed, if this raid caused a break of structure on a lower time frame. Again, this is a swing perspective, so I'm looking on the 1 hour time frame. Did we break any structure? Let's see. Yes, we did. We broke structure here, or you could even say we broke structure here the day after. But I'll call this a structure break. The body of the candle did close below it slightly, but it's still a break. This is a break too. So where am I entering from? Okay, the first entry could be here. So after this slight break here, wait, is that a break? Let me just zoom in and see. I believe it's a break on the 1 hour time frame. No, it's not a break. Okay, I personally wouldn't enter after this break. But once I see we break structure again here, then I'll start looking for my entry. So I didn't enter that one. Where would you enter from? I did not enter from here because this is just inducement. I went to a lower time frame. So back when I used to swing trade before, I mean I kind of still swing trade now ish. It's kind of complicated. It's like intraday swing trading thing. I don't know. But I'll refine my entry into the most extreme unmitigated order block. That's the most extreme order block with an imbalance, like I showed you in the last example. So you could enter here, but I think I entered on the 30-minute time frame actually, because I wasn't sure whether the price would pull back all the way into that zone. Oh my god, my throat is killing me. Okay, so yeah, I entered off this 30-minute. Where's the imbalance? See how it has this imbalance here? It has the imbalance. Where's the inducement? It has the inducement. This previous daily high here is inducing people, because everyone is gonna call this a strong resistance, and they see this wick candle. What do they call it? Is it morning star or whatever rejection, and they're all selling whatever the hell they call that. Their names of candles, Japanese candlesticks, and it's actually anyway. I'm not getting to that. And then see how I just mind my business, guys? You guys should learn how to do that. Some of you guys in the trading community need to learn how to just like stay in your own lane and just mind your business. Alright, so this was my entry. Daily rate, break of structure on the 1 hour. If you want to use a 30 or 15-minute time for your break of structure, that's okay too. You just have to backtest it. I haven't backtested that, so I don't know if it works. Break of structure, you could use any of these breaks. Entering off the most extreme order block that is induced with these highs. Set a limit there. Where you're targeting, a nice target would be this low, because all of this is liquidity. This is liquidity. All of these highs that were protected, or sorry, these lows that were protected, they're all liquidity now, and that could be a 7-hour trade. You have to. I held this and I was getting so impatient because it was just ranging around my entry, but finally hit TP. So anyway, those are just some examples on raise. Now it's up to you to backtest and check it out yourself, see if it works for you. Try and add it to your trading plan. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, that's all I got for raids. There's nothing else I have to say. Let's answer some questions. Maybe in the next 15 minutes. Questions. EA is not allowed by prop firms. I swear it is. It depends on the prop firm, but I'm pretty sure it is. Do you enter a market execution or limit orders? For if I'm doing scalping intraday, more market execution. If it's swing trading, then limit orders. Do you take entry direct from higher time frame, or you wait? Right now, I'm focused on higher time frame because I don't have time to stay on the charts. So the EA is not allowed by prop firms. It works on MFF. It works on Blue First funds. Those I'm sure of. I'm not sure about the other prop firms yet, but if you're interested, just let me know and I'll ask him. He has the EA. And it works on live funds too. So why some of your entries use inducement but some don't? I'll say it really depends. Like before, I used to always wait for the inducement. Like when I was scalping, right? I'll wait for the inducement, but I don't get it. Like I said, I have many entry techniques. Honestly, like one of them has inducement, one of them you don't need the inducement. Right now, though, I'm not very concerned with inducement. Right now. It's more so if I see it's there, it's like, oh wow, it's there. That's a very great confluence. But if I see it's not there and it meets my rules for entries, and I have a safe stop loss, then it doesn't really matter. Especially because I'm based off the higher time frame now, so most of the time the inducement may happen even inside my POI for entry, so I just have to wait a little bit longer and then it'll eventually hit my TP, something like that. Okay. Any other question? How many people are here? 36, nice. Any other question? So we can wrap this up. Go ahead, your explanation is amazing. Thank you so much. I don't know how to increase the video quality, guys. Do I swing now? Yeah, I do more higher time frame stuff now just because I don't really have time to be on the charts anymore. So yeah, just higher time frame. No questions? If there's no questions, risk per trade if there's inducement or not. I don't know. I don't really. It's more so I risk less if I know it's a counter trend trade and I'm not very confident in the fact that it's a counter trend trade, or maybe if I see there's equal highs or lows, and I could get stopped out because of that, then I'll risk less. But I mean, inducement wouldn't really make me increase my risk. It's just like, well, okay, that's there. It just makes me more confident to take the trade. Again, it really depends. The inducement thing really depends on the time frame, on the type of trade. It's like I have different entry styles. I'll go over that some other day. How to catch the move on time frame. If I see the grab on daily, which time? If I see the grab on a daily, I want to see ideally a 1 hour, but I think 30-minute, 15-minute might work as well. What's up with the Discord? I'm just gonna ignore that question. When you know your limits are not working. When you know your limits are not working, I don't really understand that question. What do you mean by that? The Discord, I'm not trying to sell anything, guys. I don't want to do any like calls or anything, so I'm not, no one-to-ones, no nothing. I'm just giving everything away for free on YouTube, so there's no Discord. That's just for me. It's my private Discord. I don't really understand your question, Lee. When you know your limits are not working, I don't know what that means. Do you use IC time and price? Definitely if I'm doing more intraday scalping, I'll use time and price. Definitely, but for swing trading, not really, because I'm just setting limits, so I don't really care. Oof. Sometimes the price went too far away. Oh, like when do you know your limits are not gonna work? I'll have to see an example to really explain that. I can't really. It really depends on like the structure, the direction. I don't know if I can. Yeah, it's not something I can just say and like in a concrete way. I have to see an example, and but usually. Well, with the way I trade now, the way I used to swing trade before is a bit different from the way I swing trade now. So yeah, if I see maybe another higher time frame break of structure, like 4-hour daily, maybe I'll just remove my limit because price is left without me. So maybe structure breaks. Great session, thank you. Alright, I'm gonna end here. There's no question. I'll just give you guys 2 more minutes to type if you're typing. And I'm gonna end it here. I think we spent about 15 minutes. What are my 2 entry techniques? My main entry technique is stop on BMS RTO. That's how I enter all my trades. Stop on BMS RTO. Like again, I have many strategies, guys. I'm very good at making strategies. So I have a strategy for like indices. I have for intraday. I have for scalping. I have 2 different ones for swinging, and they all kind of have similar but some different entry techniques. So I can't really just give you one entry technique. Sometimes I enter off the FVG. If I'm trading indices, especially, I'll enter off the FVG. Or if I'm scalping, I might enter off the FVG. Recently, I've been doing that. But now I'm swing trading, I enter off order blocks, and I don't really wait for inducement. Yeah. So if I want more precision, on like a 1-minute time frame kind of scalper thing, then I'll wait for inducement and enter like high premium and things like that. But I mean, it just really depends on the trade and everything. I keep blowing accounts here, and I don't know whether it's a strategy or the money management. That's something you have to backtest and just get data. You have to get data with your backtesting and your forward testing and see. The thing about strategy is that you always have to improve it. Always. So you have to be aware of patterns. If you see there's a pattern that keeps reoccurring, then you figure out solution. Because of that, so you have to know what the problem is, and if you don't know, you have to figure it out. Why are you blowing the account? Is it money management or strategy? Is it psychology? And if you want to know whether it's strategy, you just have to backtest it, get data, get objective data, and see. And as you're backtesting, you're gonna start noticing things. You're gonna start noticing, oh, maybe this works better instead, or maybe I should remove this because it's taking many losses, blah blah blah. And then you start to like edit your plan and things like that. Ever tried trading synthetics indices? No, I haven't. I wanted to, but you have to get like another app or like another. It was just a long process, another broker, and I'm just like, I just gave up. This is a long process. Boil milk with turmeric and what the hell is arginine? Arginine? I don't know what arginine is. I'll look that up though. But thanks for that. I should definitely. I have just been ignoring it. I should definitely get something for it. All right, gonna end this there. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. The 30 to 40 of you that join me. I'll try and keep this as a more regular thing, depending on the views. So for me, the more views I get, the more motivated I am to release. So share with your friends, subscribe, like, comments really help. And that will motivate me to do more lives. Again, if you're interested in an EA that can help you pass challenges, or just so you can make passive income. You don't have to really be behind the screens and it's making money for you. Or if you want to recover an account that's deep in drawdown on a funded, you can do that as well. I've tested it. It's legit. Does the grab work against the trend? If you're scalping or doing intraday, yes. But if you're swing trading, I don't advise it unless it's like a monthly raid or like maybe a weekly raid. But for scalping intraday, definitely, because you're going to be in and out. It definitely works very well for it. In fact, that when I was trading more scalp intraday, one of my rules for reversals is if I see a raid going against the trend. Do I trade deriv? No, I have no idea what that is. Alright, peace out. Love you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.